What's up out there? So I've been playing in the Necro Settlers League. I've got a Volcanic Fisher build going over there. Chieftain, I've been tinkering around with that. And as I was going through there, I started thinking about my Tectonic Slam build. Some of the things that I'm learning in that build that I'm working on there is got me to thinking about things in other builds that I've done. And Tectonic Slam was like, I don't know, the second build that I did of this league. And it's like one of the first ones that I did on my own. So I'm trying to figure out how I can go and make this build better. And I wanted to go try to figure out how to do single target with it. Like I've got great clearing, but I don't have all that great single target. So I was trying to figure out what I could do with it. And I started thinking about the Exsanguinate Chieftain that I built. And I've repurposed that Exsanguinate Chieftain over to some other stuff and tinkered around with it. And I thought, you know what? I've got plenty of regret orbs. I can wipe all of that off that I need to and just make the passive tree the same as what this passive tree is, and then try to see what I could do with it there. And I looked at things like Multistrike or whatever. The problem with Multistrike is you have to stop using war cries. Like you cannot exert Multistrike. So as soon as you put that in, my DPS dropped like 500,000 or whatever. My POB is not accurate, but let's say I show about 850,000 on POB. It goes to like 300 and something if I put Multistrike in, because I lose all my war cries, and then I have to start pulling all that out and trying to refigure everything. So I was like, all right, that's definitely not going to work. So I was tinkering around with it, and I can't remember exactly how I got to the point where I was at, but one of the things that I was trying to do on the other build, this is my regular Tectonic Slam build. The other one that I was tinkering with that used to be my Exsanguinate build, I wanted to try to get in there to take out Life Tap. I don't have Life Tap on my Volcanic Fisher build, so I was trying to get that out and try to get my mana try to get enough mana reservation and all that stuff. And I just couldn't get it to where I needed it to. So I kind of had to scrap that and come over to a different idea. And in the course of doing that, I did not have Endurance Charge on melee stun. I didn't put that in, but I was still getting endurance charges. The first thing I thought I wanted to do is Piano Key, Rallying Cry, Seismic Cry, Intimidating Cry, Infernal Cry, and Enduring Cry. That basically fills all this up. And I was thinking, all right, I'm not going to use Auto Exertion, and I'm going to go in and just click on Enduring Cry to get the endurance charges when I need them. I also, instead of like on here, I go through Hinekora for the explodes and then end up at Tukohama for the Fist of War on the body armor. I ended up swapping over to Sun's Roar so I could have War Cries have infinite power and get the increased buff effect and all that, and come over to here. Now this is in that other build. The problem is clicking on 5 different buttons and trying to piano key that sucks. My wrists already bother me enough as it is, and having to click through all of that, it wasn't happening. And I tinkered with it, and I thought, okay, I'll move something over here, auto exert like one of them or something. I don't remember which one I did. But in the course of all of that, I was tinkering around with it. And keep in mind, I did not put Endurance Charge on melee stun support in here. I 6-linked everything else, and I took out Life Tap and I took out Endurance Charge on melee stun support. I figured with War Cries have infinite buff, infinite power and stuff like that, that Enduring Cry would work really well because it would be at full power all the time. So I wouldn't have to worry about, standing next to something when I fired it off. I thought it was going to be a good thing. However, I go in and start running through the map, and I had full endurance charges the entire time, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So remember back when I had this Tidebreaker? I got this thing, and I thought it was going to be awesome because I get this, and I'm like, all right, Socketed Gems are supported by level 20 endurance charge on melee stun. So I was going to put this thing in, move all of my Tectonic Slam stuff over into this, and run away with it. That was great on paper, and I did that for one video, and then somebody kindly pointed out that if I do this, that takes my Tectonic Slam out of my body armor, which nullifies Tukohama, because Tukohama gives you skills from equipped body armor supported by level 20 Fist of War. So if I was to put this thing on and move my Tectonic Slam over to take advantage of the endurance charge thing, I actually lose out on the chest piece from my Ascendancy. But here's something awesome. Somebody pointed out that Infernal Cry has Combust. Combust is an attack. It has attack damage. This means you can put Culling Strike on it because Culling Strike will support an attack. What they suggested was if I put this on here, I could put the Culling Strike onto Combust, and whenever I throw all this fire and flame and everything out, because I'm basically exerting all the time, it would throw Culling Strike on that. So that was awesome. I was like, that's really cool. Take that one step further. If I take this out and put this Tidebreaker in and move all of my War Cries over to this, I don't know if I can put the, I don't know if I can put this one in here or not and still turn it on. Yep, I can. So here's the interesting thing. If I go into a map, we'll do something easy here. I don't want to have to deal with something too difficult right at the moment. It's just totally demonstrating something. You're going to see the endurance charges up here stay lit the entire time. I could not figure out what was going on. Boom. Five endurance charges. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot. I got to take endurance charge on melee stun out and swap that over to awaken fire pen. We'll let those drop off. So all my endurance charges are gone. There they come back. Boom. Right back. So that same interaction that allows me to put Culling Strike on also allows me to take advantage of the gaining endurance charges on stun. So that is really cool. That actually means that I'm gaining that chest bonus and I'm gaining the endurance charges and everything perfectly fine. There is no issues with it. Attack speed's not too bad. Like the attack speed definitely goes down. This mace is a lot slower than the other mace. This one's got a 1.35 attack per second. This has only got a 1.1. But I thought that was really cool. I don't think I'm going to leave this on this build. I think I'm going to continue with Tidebreaker on the other chieftain that I've got and tinker around with it there. But I thought that was really cool. I kind of liked it. I was like, this is interesting. I'm getting endurance charges without having to run endurance charge on melee stun because I'm getting it from this Tidebreaker. I thought that was really awesome. So that was kind of a cool interaction that I ran across and just had no idea that it worked that way. Now I've made some other changes too that I think I might revert back out of. I ended up coming over here and picking up Iron Reflexes so that I can get 17,000 armor if I kick off the Basalt and Jade Flask. I get 24,000 armor, which is good. I would like to get it a lot better. I also pathed over here into Cloth and Chain for the increased Elirez and armor and evasion and all that. And I backed out of Wrecking Ball. I backed out of a little bit of this over here, Concussive Force and Settling Ash and all that. What else did I pick up? Oh, I came over here to pick up this Soul of Steel and +1 to all the res and everything. I was hoping this would do a lot more than it did, and it's kind of been disappointing. I also backed out of my Maim and Hindered thing, and that sucks. Maimed and Hindered sucks because it slows this build down, so that was nice to get that out of there. I don't know that I'm going to keep all this. I'll probably back out of at least these 4 and maybe come back into... I'm not sure if I'm going to go into these or back out of all this, take all this back and go back the way it was. POB does not know where to put Concussive Force. Like it doesn't show any damage increase for having a reduced enemy stun threshold or Concussive Force or the reduced stun threshold. I don't even think it shows much for Settling Ash. Like it doesn't know what to do with it. So I've lost a chunk of damage by moving this over to a more defensive area, and I don't think I've really gained all that much defenses. It sounds stupid that, you know, I went from, I don't know, 12,000 armor or something like that to 17 or 20, whatever it is, but this is actually less than I had before, if that makes sense. And it's not really upped my survivability. I think the survivability that I had was just slaughtering everything ahead of me on its way through. I did have this hits that stun enemies have Culling Strike in there. I don't think I need that because I'm going to have this Culling Strike over here on Combust. So I think I'll be able to remove that and reallocate that point somewhere. I'm not sure. I haven't decided on all that yet, but I might check this out a little bit and see how it goes. But I thought that was really cool to see that I could get not only the chest piece and the endurance charges at the same time, and that actually pulled this endurance charge on melee stun out. I get a little bit more damage per endurance charge though, so that's a thing too. But I don't need that anymore if I can use that that other mace and do all that. So I'm going to tinker with that in the other build, but I wanted to show it off in this build because this one is actually the one that I've been working on the most, and made some changes to it. But anyway, just wanted to show that off real quick. I thought it was kind of a cool interaction to be able to pull all that together, and it was totally by happenstance. I didn't sit there and think about it. I just saw that it was happening. I'm like, why am I still getting endurance charges? And then I thought of that. I'm like, oh, right. So I thought that was really cool. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.